Well, good afternoon. This is Plant Smart Living with Farmer Fred. Really glad you could join me today out here in the vegetable garden. You know, it's springtime now, and so it's time to plant our lettuce. And so today I wanted to share with you some tips and ideas on how to plant 3 varieties of lettuce. And I have the red sales lettuce, the romaine, and also the red romaine lettuce. So thanks for joining me today out here in the vegetable garden. So I'm sitting here on the corner of my 18-foot by 30-foot raised garden bed, and behind me over there on the end is where I'm going to be planting this lettuce. And you know, lettuce needs anywhere from 4 to 6 hours of sunlight, you know, a rich, fertile, loose soil. And I ended up buying these transplants from Ray's Nursery nearby. You know, sometimes our schedules can get so busy we just don't have time to direct sow our seeds in the garden or even start your seeds indoors, you know. And so I ended up buying these transplants. One 6-pack was $1.60, and if you buy over 10 plants, market packs, it's $14 for a flat of 10, and so it's a really good deal. So, you know, we're really looking forward to planting some lettuce in our garden and having some fresh lettuce in our salads, especially since my wife and I follow a plant-based lifestyle. So let's go over there and start planting this lettuce. So here on the end of my bed I have like a 3-foot section, and it's nice and close to the kitchen. And so I have these are fiberglass tent stakes that I have saved over the years and even gotten some at auctions, but they're great. These fiberglass stakes are great for marking, you know, your rows. And so I'm basically going to be planting these in 3 rows here, and the rows are spaced 9 to 10 inches, somewhere around in there. And then what I did is I took a board from my shop, and I spaced these stakes about 10 inches apart, and then I'm just going to take a piece of wood to mark in between where I'm going to be planting these. Now I'm also going to be planting these in my composted leaf mulch that's amended with topsoil, and then I also added some soybean meal. That's a slow release all natural fertilizer, and I also sprinkled some alfalfa pellets throughout this garden bed here too, because I'm going to be planting my broccoli in that other section. But you want to make sure your soil's nice and loose and fertile. I'm growing this in my composted leaf mulch that's amended with topsoil, and the topsoil helps add some minerals to it. You could also grow these in pots on your balcony or deck too. You just want to make sure there's enough sunlight. And so I have my different market packs right here, and what I'm going to do is just, you know, you can take them out and lay them out on the soil here for spacing. I know some people, you know, like to do the square foot gardening, and that's fine. They lay out the grids, but you know, you can do basically the same type of planting just by laying out your plants like this and kind of eyeballing them. And so, you know, you simply want to just, where each plant is, I just use my hand and just plant it in there, and then firmly tap it right around the soil. It's nothing difficult at all to do. And this soil's nice and loose, so the plants go in there nice and easy. You also want to make sure you then water these, and you could use a water-soluble fertilizer like a fish emulsion, because the soil microbes aren't working in the soil yet. The soil's still cold, so if you use a water-soluble fertilizer, it's going to feed the plants right away. And so you can see how nice and easy these are planting. And so I have this one more pack of red sales lettuce. that I need to plant, and basically you can plant them right where the other rows are. You can eyeball that. Again, it doesn't have to be rocket science here. It's something really easy to do. And you know, whenever you buy a market pack of seeds or transplants, it never hurts to inspect the root system. Make sure they're not root bound. And these are, you can tell, just haven't been in the pot that long. You know, it's a nice root system there. It's not congested. And so again, I'm just going to take my hand, or if you have a little shovel, that works fine. I just like using my hands in the soil. It's a good tool. I don't have to worry about losing them or misplacing them. And just lightly tap or gently push the soil in around, and then you can take your labels here and mark your plants here. This was the romaine lettuce, the green, and this was the red romaine, and this is the red sales here. And then I'm going to grab my watering can here, and I'm going to water these in here. That way it'll help settle the root system. It's also going to rain the next couple days, so this way they'll be in the soil all ready to go. And so yeah, you can see how easy it is to grow these. And so now that all these lettuce plants are in the ground and watered, what I'm going to do is I have this row cover here. I'm going to cover these plants with a row cover. It'd be kind of like a floating row cover, but I do need to pull out my fiberglass rods here, these markers. And what I did is I laid a few bricks up on edge on the front and back area so that the row cover doesn't lay exactly on the plant. In fact, if this goes in deep enough, what you can do is I'm going to stick a couple of these in there, just kind of like a tent pole. That'll keep the row cover off the plants. I have this low tunnel hoop house. I'm going to be putting that my broccoli under the low tunnel, and so I have this all ready to go. I'm just going to pick this edge up, and this way this will keep the deer off of these plants and keep any critters out of here. And so it just takes any kind of weight. You know, I just happen to have these bricks and they work really well. You don't want the row cover flapping around on your plants. And then so maybe I'll take one more brick. And you can see that way this is going to create a nice mini micro environment here underneath this row cover. You know, and the row covers allow the air to pass through and also the water. And so anyhow, I hope this video was able to give you some tips and ideas on how to plant lettuce in your garden. Again, something really easy to do. You can plant them in a pot on your balcony or deck as long as you have 4 to 6 hours of sunlight. And you do want to give these a liquid fertilizer maybe every 10 days, especially in the early season when the microbes aren't working in the soil. So anyhow, if you have any questions or comments about this video, feel free to leave them in the section below. And you can also visit us at plantsmartliving.com to learn more about gardening and how to reclaim your health. So anyhow, I hope you have a wonderful day today. So until next time, this is Plant Smart Living with Farmer Fred.